The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Today we expose fraud involving our largest meat exporter, Silver Ferns Farms. What happened at Silver Ferns Farms is a disgrace because it involves unlawful, covert behaviour and corruption. And the regulators, the so-called new sheriffs in town, are again failing to do their job. I've faced that sort of behaviour from officialdom in the past. They didn't succeed back then and they won't succeed now. We have an incompetent FMA who finds no fault with Silver Ferns Farms' information package to shareholders, recommending they sell majority ownership or face receivership or liquidation. And when it contained outright lies, the profits were understated by 84%, the debt overstated by 24%. This is from a management lying to its ownership. How do we know that? The information given to the Chinese buyer was 4 times more substantial and for a 4-year, not a 1-year period. The information package for the Chinese utterly contradicts information given to the New Zealand farmer shareholders. The FMA and the Companies Office, with the Chinese buyer information available, apparently unread by them, find no sin in this sort of behaviour. To summate, 16th of October 2015, the shareholders voted on a set of lies, revealed 24 days later when the annual results of the company became known. They had been given a totally false financial picture. Every CEO reads the monthly accounts. Every director sees the monthly management accounts. Yet Dean Hamilton, its claimed CEO, repeatedly lied to the media. He lied to journalist Alan Barber in early June when he said that a no OIO decision before 30 June was an extremely serious event because Silver Ferns Farms, he said, banking facilities would lapse. 2 days ago, on The Country Show, he said that 30 June was not a problem. He is a serial deceiver. 3 weeks ago, it was extremely serious. This week, it's not. The Silver Ferns Farm board is either utterly incompetent or totally corrupt, with a number of people with their nose in the trough. I'm asking the management and board these questions. Is CEO Dean Hamilton an employee or a contractor billing Silver Ferns Farm over $100,000 a month? Is it true Goldman Sachs arranged in the deal with Shanghai Mailing received $695,000 a month? The Companies Office and the FMA tell us there's no wrong. And Silver Ferns Farm CEO Hamilton says they've been vindicated. Well, that's what Faye Rishwhite said back then, but when we got behind the charade, we know what happened after that. We don't like, in this country, corporate troffers and lazy, expensive bureaucrats protecting the establishment. So today we are exposing a racket at Silver Ferns Farms for the bureaucrats to suck on. In 2009, Silver Ferns Farms led a transport contract to a company called Livestock Logistics without a tender process. It was worth tens of millions of dollars. Now, Livestock Logistics does not own trucks. Its challenge is to increase optimisation. In short, a ticket-clipping middleman. So why was there no written contract between Silver Ferns Farms and Livestock Logistics? Well, I've got proof, which I want to table today, that Ernst Young, seeking to see the contract, couldn't find a written contract. It gets worse. Up until 15th September, the very day that the board recommended selling to the Chinese, one man, Brian William Burke, held 100% of the shares in Livestock Logistics. The other director, none other than Silver Ferns Chief Operating Officer, Kevin Winders. These two go back to the PGG Wrightson days. Only in New Zealand can you stuff up one merger and land a far better job. For farmers, their transport costs went up from $16 million in 2007-8 to $66.6 million in 2015. 1 million less lambs in 7 years, yet farmer transport costs increased by 400%. This is not an honest transaction from the same directors who failed to tell the shareholders the truth and a management who have had their fingers in the till. There's more to come in following weeks, but we're calling for an inquiry into Silver Ferns Farms and government agencies who have failed to protect small shareholders and, worst, set out to defraud them. Now, Mr. Barclay decided to call and try and get a meeting with Mr. Hamilton. He was denied. All he got was a phone call. So there's a backbench member over there, knows exactly what I'm saying, because he was expressing concern about the interests of the shareholders. He got fobbed off, and he hasn't raised a finger in this House. That's a disgrace. My warning to Silver Ferns Farm and its management and its board is, if you think you're going to get away with this, then look out for the court case that's coming and for further exposures over the next few weeks. But because you're not going to lie to New Zealand farmers and New Zealand workers and get away with it. The National Party might allow that. The National Party might be provincial New Zealand based and hasn't raised a finger, but we are going to raise the roof until we get at the truth.
Speaker.
Simon